Back at some of the best of the breakfast table. But first, let's kick things off with the latest headlines and breaking news from LA.
Thanks, Kay. Good morning, everybody. We start with big news out of Tampa Bay as the Buccaneers could be without the services of Jameis Winston to start the season. According to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport, Winston is expected to be suspended several games to start the year. Winston violating the league's personal conduct policy stemming from an alleged groping incident with a female driver of a popular ride-sharing service in Arizona back in 2016. No police report was ever filed, and Winston denies his role in the incident. If Winston is suspended, he would be replaced in the lineup by Ryan Fitzpatrick, who started 3 games last season. In other news, the Broncos have their first-round rookie under contract, signing 5th overall pick Bradley Chubb on Thursday. Shane Ray is expected to be out 3 months with a wrist injury, so Chubb projected to be an immediate pass rusher alongside All-Pro Von Miller. Vikings running back Dalvin Cook making his way back from an ACL injury. He will be a key piece to the Minnesota offense along with new quarterback Kirk Cousins. Defensive end Everson Griffin joined NFL Total Access on Thursday and talked about Cook's return.
By training camp, he should be back, taking all the reps. They had him doing individual period, and they threw him in for a couple team periods, and he's looking good. He got his quickness back. He's cutting well. Now it's just him getting back comfortable, being on the football field and doing what he did last year. He started off hot. And we expect him to do that this year. He just had a significant injury, and now it's time for him to go shock the world and show them that what he can do for a full season. And I can't wait. I'm excited to see, because with a running game like he could bring and a passing game with Kurt, our offense, they could be unstoppable.
The Vikings open training camp on July 24th. That will do it for us here in Los Angeles. Now let's get you back to Kay and the guys for the best of Good Morning Football.
Video games and the NFL. Good Morning Football got the 8-bit treatment last night, courtesy of Pixel NFL. And this is apparently what we would look like in a video game.
Cool. Peter, you look like Soda Popinski.
Yeah, Hamilton looks a little beefy.
I look like Brian Urlacher with hair.
Well, yeah, I'll take
Who was it
Urlacher.
that made this? The artist is named John Savage.
John Savage.
That's pretty cool.
That's sweet, man.
Are we happy with this portrayal?
I like it.
I love it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Hamilton looks like Zangief.
Yeah,
right? Zangief.
Zangief!
You don't want to mess with Zangief.
He was huge.
Yeah, he was terrifying.
Very much.
Lots of tattoos, just like Hamilton.
Right on his
Selva's in
chest,
there.
you're right.
Selva looks like a pixelated accountant. He looks great.
Someone looks like a newsman.
If you know what we're talking about and you like video games, keep it right here, because it got us thinking, seeing this pixelated image of all of us, what would the rookie and veteran quarterbacks look like, these battles that are going on in a league right now? What would they look like in video games? Which video game sort of represents those epic battles that'll be going down in training camps from coast to coast this offseason? So, or I guess this season.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hook you guys up with my video.
And what do you got? What you got?
Maybe my favorite battle, just for pure fact that Sam Bradford does not speak very much and Josh Rosen will not stop speaking. Let's go to the desert.
Okay.
Bradford v. Rosen. And what game could capture this matchup better than the aforementioned Street Fighter? Okay, it's a classic matchup. You've got Ken versus Ryu.
Oh, God. Oh, the phone. Wow. Great.
So here's how I broke this down. Bradford clearly Ken Masters. Experienced journeyman, right? He's well-traveled, not to mention his quiet demeanor. And then you have Ryu as Josh Rosen. This makes a lot of sense to me, because there's a lot of questions really surrounding both. Is Ryu, are they friends? Are they not friends? One's reaching out, one's not. They're kind of similar. Is Ryu mentally committed to street fighting for the rest of his life? I don't know.
He loves street fighting.
And then while Ken sort of seems more stoic to me, more like low-key, Ryu's definitely like cocky competitor, flashy out there, Hadoukening all the time. And he's maybe as talented. We don't know if Ken is as talented as Ryu. So there we have it. Does this sound familiar, guys? With these
does. Yes, it
Bradford.
does.
That was the ultimate curiosity when you played that game. It's like, do they know each other? Are they cool? Like, do they go back? Do they reach out to each other?
They both have the same stance, too. They both do that, like that bouncing, like I'm ready to go.
Ryu stole the show. Ryu was like the Tom Brady of the game, right?
I think the takeaway from the whole game is like, how do you can? Like, that's what people remember. That's a Ryu thing before you even get into Guile and Sagat and Blanca and all those crazy ones. Dalsim.
Or Cammy with the braid and the camo pants in Street Fighter 2.
Ah, it was Champions Edition, I think. I wasn't a big M. Bison guy, the late Raul Julia. But Dalsim had the reach, like the wingspan of 50 feet.
Oh, my God. gosh.
That would have been a good one for Sam Bradford because he also transforms a lot and doesn't he teleport?
Yes.
And Sam Bradford's played in a lot of different teams.
Right.
What would Mike Mayock say of the reach of Dalsim and the catch radius?
Oh, the wingspan is incredible.
And unbelievable.
Yeah.
Soul and science?
The get off, right? It's a
Dalsim does it with his foot.
He does. I don't know how he ever lost.
I don't know.
Skinny, once you get inside, though, it was a wrap with Dalsim. Yeah. So what do we got
I had an older brother.
Clearly.
Yes. And I was one, and I used to beat my little brother in a certain game. I'm going to talk about some gamers that won their first title pre-merger, an AFL title back in 1964. They won in 64. Now they're playing the N64. And the Buffalo Bills are playing the N64 GOAT. I'm talking about GoldenEye. GoldenEye. And they've been playing for a while, guys. They've been playing with the wrong weapons. They've tried every quarterback. They've tried every coach. They've had a bunch of clobs. Remember the clob?
I know.
Completely useless. Throwing knives, laser watches, paintball cheat codes, unsilenced PP7s, slappers only. Slappers in that facility level known as the AFC. They've tried it all. Every turn they make, though, the screen runs red and they hear that music. JP Lossman, boo-doo-doo-doo. EJ Manuel, boo-doo-doo-doo. Trent Edwards, boo-doo-doo-doo. And it's getting blasted. Then they get these awards after the battle, the Buffalo Bills. Mostly harmless, most frantic. Where's the ammo? It's like, why are you clowning me? I know I got killed by my roommate. Just give me a chance. The Patriots, though, I mean, they play the game well. They committed odd job gate. They picked him. They kept snatching all the body armor, zip, and just toying with them. You knew you have somebody when they pop the Bills, and then they sprint in the stack level to where the Bills are going to respawn and pop them again before they can even arm themselves. It's torture. Tom Brady, let's face it, in the GoldenEye world, has been Xenia on a top, just choking out the Bills through the raw power of ecstasy and Pilates. They can't do it. Tap no mas. But wait, ladies and gentlemen.
What do we have?
There's a couple new options on the character select screen. Look at that as we look at Xenia and 007 and 006 and Boris in the background. AJ McCarron, Alan Cumming. AJ McCarron on the right, sort of like a Siberian commando, little bit of Boris in him, knows the Citadel and Egypt levels really well, strategic with the ammo. Good at strafing, very important. Well, there's this other player on the left. Everybody's jumping on. He's from Fireball, California. He's Jaws. He's the big man, and he brings the power weapons. There's no strategy when you're in the archives staring down at a grenade launcher and some rockets. And with that defense, guys, and that progress last year, you could say the Bills are in the proximity. And you know what happens in GoldenEye when you're in the proximity. You're marching along. You didn't even know it was there. AJ McCarron, he's savvy. He heeds the advice of Moneypenny. But Allen is he's just money. He's just money. And the Bills once had a remote chance. Now they have a remote mind. And I think Josh Allen is saying, tick-tock, tick-tock.
His game sounds awful.
The game's amazing.
It's over.
A lot of people look back. They look back on college and they have these crazy stories of frat parties and girls are doing great.
Ice luge.
It was a lot of GoldenEye and a lot of Pizza Hut for me, my friend. You spoke my language right there.
4 quadrants up there. It kind of freezes every once in a while with a cloud.
Before Netflix and chill, it was GoldenEye and pizza.
The original quad box?
Golden gun.
Golden gun.
What system was that on?
Beast.
N64.
One shot.
Never had it.
Flappers.
How do you beat the golden boy and the man with the golden gun? That's Josh Allen, golden eye, baby.
The golden arm, huh?
What a photo of him, too.
That was nice.
Unbelievable.
Select.
All right. Well, I'll go. I'll take it back. You know, I'm old school. Okay, so I don't know how you guys haven't mentioned this training camp battle that will happen in Cleveland with Baker Mayfield, of course, and him taking on Tyrod Taylor. And I feel like this is obviously the perfect video game matchup for something that we're all familiar with in video games, but also in magazine. Spy versus spy.
We got something now, Nate.
All right, so here we go. If you're not familiar, this is the comical espionage, right? The comical espionage activities that you guys have seen in the Mad magazines. And some say that these guys, they are evenly matched, really identical skill sets, if you will. True. The same type of weapons, if you will. But aside from them being black and white, and in my picture, I have a Baker Mayfield with the hat on, and also you got Tyrod Taylor with the black hat on. They're the same guy, and that's all we keep talking about. They're undersized quarterbacks that can throw the ball, similar skill sets. Why would they go with that type of backup, and why would they go with that type of quarterback? But here's the thing. Just like in the video game, they're going to alternate wins and losses, and they're going to alternate opportunities. If you ever read the magazine, if you ever played the video games, if you ever watched the cartoon, one guy wins, one guy loses. That's how it's going to be in camp. They're going to alternate playing with the starters, And you have Baker Mayfield with opportunity to play with the ones. You have Tyrod Taylor with opportunity to play with the ones. And here's the thing. Just like the magazine, Alfred E. Newman, that gap is the size of the distance between the two guys.
Let me worry.
It's only going to take one big opportunity in the preseason for somebody to take that position. Tyrod to say, no, this position is mine, or Baker Mayfield to say that I got this. And if you're familiar with the magazine, which I know you are, like I am, I mean, I still buy it to this day. Anytime it's in the airport.
You do.
That magazine, really?
Yeah, just like on
Holding
that.
up the pictures?
That's where I'm going.
Do it.
Just like on that last page, if you bring the two sides together and you analyze it closely, the picture of who will be the starter will reveal itself. Ooh. And that's how you got to do it, with spy versus spy.
So this was originally in a magazine, then became a video game. What was the objective of the video game?
It was basically just to kill each other.
down.
That was it.
Oh,
It was just two
like
spies,
Ben
very
and Jerry.
identical, the same exact
Got
spy
it.
with the same exact weapons. And you just basically
You
want to see
push
who
one
had
onto
the
the chainsaw, and then you win
That's
for
it.
the week or
That's
something like
it.
that. I mean, it got violent.
Whoa.
Before itchy and scratchy.
Yeah.
A little bit,
Before itchy and scratchy.
I like in the
This is it.
picture, though, it looks like pimp versus pimp. You know what I mean? Like, the hats are crazy they put on those dudes. I love it. That was good.
Legs for days.
Yeah.
You guys went 90s, 2000s. I'm going in the 80s. I'm going the original Nintendo,
8-bit?
NES. And there were so many games that you'd get, and you just blow on that cassette.
Yep.
There was one that I played probably for an entire summer, and I probably played it every day for 12 hours because I couldn't beat it at the end. And it's Top Gun, the video game.
All right,
With
let's do it.
Come into my office. 1987, this game came out. Easiest game for the first 10 levels. You get to the final level, you have to land a plane. It is the F-14 Tomcat, and it's on a simple runway. You have to land it, but you have to have the controller exactly right. I was like,
Yeah.
let me give you the analogy here.
What do we got?
Lamar Jackson is the F-14 Tomcat.
Sure.
It is this highly volatile, incredible,
Sidewinders.
beautiful piece of machinery. Joe Flacco is that big, immobile runway.
Okay.
But it ain't going anywhere.
I like
and It's
it.
not going to be beaten too easy.
Oh, look at that.
There it is.
Whoa.
We've got the cockpit view. And look, Lamar's got all the turbo packs and the jet power and all the fuel. And but you know what? That's Joe Flacco.
That's the villain.
And you've got to land it on him. You've got to beat him.
I love this game. I've never even heard of it. I would play this for
Oh,
hours.
this brought back memories.
And I don't think you can beat Joe Flacco so easy. It might feel like it's an easy way to end the game. The first 10 levels were easy. And guess what? High school was okay for Lamar, and college was fine. But you got to beat Joe Flacco for that job. And this might have been the hardest final board of any video game ever made. I don't know anyone in my life who could actually land that.
Peter, I
plane.
don't think it's been done.
I don't think anyone's
there's
ever done
proof
it.
online that it is impossible to do. It's never been done.
Amazing.
Can Lamar Jackson land the plane? I don't know about year one. I don't know about year two. But everyone's assuming he's going to be the guy. Flacco ain't going anywhere.
That video game was a
Is
big.
Michael Crabtree Goose? Or, what are we doing? Where's Loggins? Where's Gillis? Come on now.
Don't tell me about the speed of the plane. Don't tell me about the weapons you got. Land the plane.
Justin Tucker will be singing the entire soundtrack in opera form. Yes.
John Harbaugh's the old bald guy from Back to the Future
Absolutely,
with the cigar.
yes.
Rubber dog bleep out of Hong Kong.
I've never been more lost. I literally have never been more lost on this
You
set.
gotta get on board.
We need a Nintendo on this set.
Yes, we
That's
do.
8-bit.
what I think.
I got it at the house.
Konami.
Good Morning Football is brought to you by Thrive. Your business smarter.